accurate. It's not just I'm doing it because I wanted to.
Sure. I mean, hey, we're two minds of the same kind there, brother. I get that. But yeah, awesome. And then kind of you sort of touched on it a little bit, but do you think you could peel off a bit of an elevator pitch of your lore, just like a quick little just like a mini summary and kind of what your lore is?
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty much what it is that obviously Cthulhu's been he's sleeping. He's been stuck there ever since because of the gods and everything, and he's had a lot a lot of kids. He's
Of
been
course.
busy. But I pretty much got technically ran away from the gods because I didn't want to be a part of like their war and everything that's going on with them against Cthulhu, and ended up actually just like I guess like floating onto a beach, if you would like, from the water,
Right.
and that's how I ended up meeting Myth, which she was technically in a human form, but there's more to that, but I can't talk about it because too much because it's more of it's a future plan thing.
Ooh.
But yeah, and so I ended up getting to a point where I saw a lot of the good that was in on Earth and seeing everything that was going on, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to be a part of this war. I just want to do my own thing. I want to chill, make friends, get a family with these friends, and just kind of like do my own thing. And so what's kind of funny is that I actually have this giant ship that I created that's like almost like a kind of like a void type ship that we call the office. And this is where everyone spends their days. And so it's just this giant building that everyone thinks is a normal building, but it's actually a ship. And it's constantly just floating in the void. And I have portals everywhere to where no matter where you are, you could be, you could be in Germany, you could be here in America, you could be, in Japan, wherever. No matter what, you'll always be able to come to the office and hang out with everybody and enjoy your time.
It's a really cool setup. I like that a lot. So kind of going back to like VTubers and whatnot, what is it that you like about other VTubers designs? Like when you see a design out kind of in the wild, what is it that kind of makes you sort of stop and go like, whoa, like, I gotta check this person out?
A big thing for me that I've always really liked is seeing more of the unique and actual more original stuff. So I know there's always been the running joke of like I've heard quite a bit of like a lot of VTubers usually stick with like either they're a demon or they're a cat girl.
Yeah.
But a big thing that's always like even if you're like a demon or if you are a cat girl or whatever you are, if you have something that's like that you put your heart and soul into and took the time to actually like be original with your design, I'm gonna notice right away because that's what I'm looking for. And usually that's a lot of times that's what pulls me in and like grabs my attention. And that's usually, and funny enough, a lot of times those people I end up becoming really good friends with them. Like my best friend Arena, she's probably in the VTuber space, she's one of the more human VTubers out there. She's just a team lead office worker. But she when I had first met her, which was on Twitter, the fact that she stuck with the theme of purple, her favorite color, so she stuck with that theme and sticking with the actual like, hey, I'm just a regular human who works in the office. To me, I know that probably to a lot of people that might not be like, it might not pull them in, but for me at the time, I was like, you know what? That's original. That's really cool to have something like that. Because at the time, a lot of the things that I had saw were like, obviously, where people were just like, I have the power of God and I can destroy anyone and with a touch of my pinky. And you just had her. She was just like, hey, I work in the office. I'm the team lead. And if you don't make it to work, you're going to get fired.
Yeah. I need those quarterly reports by 5. I can't do this right now.
Oh yeah, that's usually the common thing when she ends up streaming. We'll have we call those our meetings time. Usually there's a couple of us that end up getting in trouble when we get our pays cut. So
yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I think like seeing kind of normal quote unquote things is almost like so rare at this point, but it's always refreshing to kind of see someone who wants to try and make that work.
Oh yeah, that's it's when I see that kind of stuff, seeing like it can be different mythical creatures or whatever, kind of like Endy. Like there hasn't really been many people I've seen that decided to be a sheep, a Greek sheep, and so that was another reason why I got like when I saw Endy, when I got introduced to her from a friend, I was like, I actually really like your design. It's original, it's simple, but it's original and it's cool.
And yeah, like she's had that sort of I guess like Sona as like a design for like a while, if I remember correctly. But yeah, definitely, it's always been something I thought was really really cool and just like I guess different from your typical like girl with like animal characteristics,
Yeah.
All right, so say you woke up back to the day you decided to become a VTuber, and everything after like that had happened since then had all just been one big dream. Would you want to do anything differently?
Honestly, I don't think I would. Just because I have been able to meet some of the most amazing people in this space at the time when I started. And I feel like that if I were to change that in any way, I feel like it would just, kind of make it to where I would end up losing those friendships and losing out on all these amazing opportunities I've been able to get and do.
Right.
So honestly, I don't think I would honestly really change it. I'm honestly completely content and happy doing everything that I've done up to this point. The learning curve, as you will, of my very first stream being so sinking messes here and there all over the place with the audio and the graphic, but it has honestly been a great learning experience, and the fact that I've been able to so many times be able to like help out with other streamers that are just coming into space, or in general just like if they need help figuring out OBS or figuring out how to handle certain things with like their models or stuff like that. Being able to have that knowledge, being able to give it, because all the stuff that I had to go through that were issues and problems that I had in the beginning, but now I can provide those answers to people now. It's just something I'm really happy I was able to get.
Yeah, that's very respectable. I like that answer a lot. So what is it that you like most about streaming?
I think honestly my favorite thing is feeling like I'm always having, it's almost like kind of like you're hanging out with you're just hanging out with your friends in a like a Discord call, but it's like everyone's muted except yourself. Like I've always loved that aspect that I can spend days playing like my favorite some of my favorite games like Elden Ring or Night Rain or anything like that. Be able to have that and just have people come into my streams and just come in, say hello, hang out for a bit, and then when they have to take off, they have to take off. But I think just having that space to be able to hang out with people and talk with them and have that time to actually see how everyone's doing and everything. I think that's honestly what I like the most.
And then, is there anything that you wish you could do more of? Like either you don't have the resources, or you don't have the time, or you just don't know, like something you've kind of like been planning on doing. Anything that's like that you wish you could do more of, and perhaps you just haven't had the opportunity to yet.
I think the biggest thing for me is I really want to, I really would like to have more time spent into my art and learning it. Just because I had, since the very beginning, I've had all these different ideas that I wanted to do for myself, because I want to, how a lot of people have their own lore video, some merch and everything. I wanted to get to a point where I could do all that just myself. Yeah, would it take a while? Absolutely. But the fact that I would be able to potentially, either stream that or record it and then turn it into content for people to enjoy or learn from, that would be great. And I'm kind of bummed I haven't been able to get there yet, because there's still so much of art that I'm learning.
Right, yeah.
Whoa. So I think that's the biggest thing I honestly wish for me that I could dedicate more time to. I just wish we had more than just 24 hours. I kind of wish we had a 48-hour day and I could just actually stay awake for half of it. That would be great. But I know that's not possible right now.
Yeah. And then kind of on the other side of that coin, what is your least favorite part about streaming?
I think honestly the biggest thing for me is that I know sometimes I could struggle with, especially if I'm doing multi-streaming, is always making sure to pull myself from whatever I'm doing at the time and paying attention to making sure that I interact and talk with people in my chat that I occupied. I wish it was a bit easier to where it was almost like a VR headset type scenario where I could just have it in my eyes.
Yeah, get the heads up display. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of still be playing my game or thinking doing my art or whatever, and just be able to always be able to have a way to look at that, and then I can really interact whenever. I don't have to pause what I'm doing. I don't have to have to look up from art and be like, oh, so and so in the chat. I gotta make sure to say hi to them because I want to make sure they don't feel left out.
Right.
So I think yeah, that's the biggest thing.
It's not having an extra set of eyes and a whole thing with that. Yeah, okay. And then is there anything that you wish you didn't have to do when it came to streaming? Anything that was I don't know, if you could pay somebody to do it, for instance, you would just have them do it instead. Anything like that?
I think honestly the biggest thing for me would be probably doing my my shorts for YouTube and for TikTok.
Yep.
That's I think yeah, because I don't mind doing the VODs. I've gone down pretty well to where I know how to go in, find my key points of where I'm I take breaks, edit those out and kind of make it like kind of nice and smooth, where it's kind of like a seamless like stream video for people to enjoy out the fun. But when it comes to the swords, I feel like it takes so much time, because like I want to make sure that I'm getting content that not just I am enjoying as someone, but I know that everyone else is going to enjoy as well. And sometimes like I've had it to where I would go through like 2 or 3 different streams trying to find just like some fun content for people to have on my shorts. And I'm just like, I'm not doing it. And I feel like I just spent like 3 hours going through cleaning up these VODs for people, and I was gonna have some shorts out of it, and I end up not having anything. I just have VODs to put on the YouTube account.
Yeah, that is the most common answer we've gotten for that question. So you're not alone in the in your disdain for editing and picking out stuff for shorts.
Yeah, well, that's good, because I know like when it comes to like commissioning art and all that, I'll happily do that any day of the week, because I love commissioning stuff. Especially when I can go and interact with those like the artists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Be able to talk to them and be able to potentially like learn some new tricks for the trade, possibly for myself, to kind of like better myself as not just as a streamer and content creator, but also just as a person altogether.
Yeah, of course. Do you have any do you have any games or any like sort of events that are at the top of your streaming bucket list? Anything that you'd really just want to get your hands on or do while you're on stream?
I think honestly the biggest thing that I want to do someday that's on my bucket list is I want to do one of those where it's a live, like going to a convention, like going to TwitchCon or just like anything like that, like PAX or something, and being able to just bring my entire audience with me to experience with me and be able to meet people as I'm talking to them and stuff. Right. I think that's like the biggest thing on my bucket list as a streamer. I would love. Second thing is I would just love to be able to like someday potentially like host like this like huge massive like fun art competition or something like that, kind of like they for Gartic Phone or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Do you have an Oshi, and if so, who are they?
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
I'll give you 3. You can have 3 slots if you want.
Okay. If I have 3 slots, I could definitely say Zentrea for just the way she treats and interacts with her community. It's something that I've always grown really attached to, that I want to have in my own, to have everyone feel like they matter. Shy Lily, because that girl can yap, and I have to say I really wish I had the capabilities of doing that.
Right.
So, but she's always been really entertaining, and she's also another one that's really been like respectful towards her community and her friends, and treating everyone like they matter. And that's again, that's a really big thing.
Yeah.
And then I think for my third one, honestly, I would probably have to go with my friend Arena.
One more time?
Because my friend Arena. Just because she has she kind of has some small aspects between the Zentrea and Shy Lily when it comes to like handling community, handling the yapping, and just like trying to make sure that you have a nice balance between it all. And that's something I still wish that I could be able to achieve, but I know there's still like there's still some stuff I could work on. Like I said, like when it comes to like handling chat or getting potentially distracted or something like that. But the way she handles a lot of stuff, it's just like it's really encouraging and motivating to me.
Awesome. Okay. Do you have a dream collab, as in like a dream collab partner, like somebody you'd really want to get on your streams, and then what would you want to do with that person or persons?
I think honestly, probably the easiest answer, the one I could think of at the top of my head that would matter to me, is being able to collab with Zendrea, mostly because I really want to face her off in first-person shooters. Just because she's honestly, like, when it comes to like a lot of those competitive games, she's really like really strong and like again, just competitive and like focus on those aspects. And I tend to do that when it comes to those kind of games as well. So I would like to have like be able to collab with her and be able to like just have a gaming session where me and her and potentially like just a couple of other people within her community and my community, we could just have like a big like team versus team type scenario, like in Halo or something.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be fun. And then next, do you have a dream collab from the perspective of a viewer, like any like multiple creators that you'd want to see working together as like from the perspective of an audience member?
I think honestly, I think being able to have more opportunities to watch like a lot of my friends that are bigger streamers, but are like they're typically they're more busy focusing on themselves and then focusing work on they got to focus on work and stuff full time. But I would absolutely love to see more opportunities for them to be able to interact with each other, because a lot of my friends, they all know each other, but it's so difficult with time zones and work schedule and everything to be able to do these collabs together. And so I would love if one day they could be able to just do that and do like just some big massive like fun party game, like Mario Party or something like that, and being able to just hang out and play against each other. I'd love to see stuff like that.
And then next, who would you put on your VTuber Mount Rushmore? Like the 4 VTubers that you think are kind of they stand above the rest as being the sort of the most 4 iconic ones. Yeah.
Let's definitely I definitely would say Saba is a big one for me, just because she's been able to do so much in the VTuber space that some people just haven't either thought of or been able to achieve yet. Like being able to do that event that she did for a baseball team during their game.
Right,
like
yeah.
being able to do that. So Saba would definitely be one of those. Zentrail definitely, just because again, like I said, the way that she handles her community, she treats them, and how much she puts a focus on them compared to herself, is something I really respect. And I feel like a lot of people don't do too much compared to her. Like there's people that they have their mascots, they have their communities, their pop up and stuff like that. But the way that she's gone on to like streamer rewards, like they have the big events where they'll hand out the rewards and everything, and she always makes sure that if she's being showed on the camera, she always have the geckos off to the side with her. And that's something I think it's honestly really unique to see in this space. I I think two more that I would like that I think would be above. I think the last two for me honestly.
Hmm? You're cutting out a
And
little bit.
the last two I would honestly think would be design wise, but I'm trying to on the top of my head, I'm trying to remember them all. And I'm feeling like a bad doodle right now because I'm blanking. But I would probably I think probably for now though, I'll probably just do um again probably just like Shy Lily just because like yeah, like her design I know a lot of people think it's kind of like, it's not like super detailed or anything. I still think it's pretty, it's a pretty fun and almost cozy design, and it's something that you could definitely kind of just like feel welcomed with.
Hmm.
And then for my fourth is someone that I love to watch that has like huge gremlin energy. Her name is Fin Finari Mori. She is a moth bee,
Hmm.
and she has so like a really unique design with her model
Hmm.
that like especially when she goes I think she has her regular form and then she has like almost like a kind of like monstrous form,
Hmm.
and I absolutely love it. I'm like that was honestly one of the things that made me to be like, you know what, I want to do that someday for my model. I want to have and I mean that's kind of why I have like the female form. Like I love having having that uniqueness of like having those different forms that you could go into to make each stream potentially be unique and new for someone that's just coming in for the first time, or even someone that's just coming in almost every single day. And
Hmm.
like I said, her gremlin energy, I honestly love and respect. I wish I could achieve the amount of like energy she's burning when it comes to her yelling and just interacting with her community. I try so hard to be able to do that in my own streams, and I'll get like halfway through my normal stream session, and I'm already like, okay, I feel dead. My batteries feel like they're empty. I need caffeine and water just to be able to finish this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good solid list of four there. Definitely love that. What's the? I always get lost at these last few questions here. All right. So, kind of beyond the more obvious issues like dramatic behind the scenes behavior or like corporate meddling and stuff like that. Beyond those things, what would you say the VTuber community needs work on the most?
I think I think honestly the biggest thing is being able to put more trust in each other and um actually focus more on building relationships with each other.
Hmm.
I know there's been quite a bit of times in the VTuber space where people have, thought they were really close friends with someone, and come to find out, they were just technically just being used as like a business type aspect.
Right.
So I wish it wasn't focused on that. I wish that people didn't treat this. A lot of people didn't treat this as like a job. They would treat it more like hey, we're all going over to our friend's house for the evening to go, play Halo or something together, or do a art stream, or do a yapping session, and they just treat it as in, they're just having fun, having a good time, building a relationship instead of focusing so much on the actual like, treating it as a job and treating it as in like, hey, this is a business. I need to stay professional. I can only interact with certain individuals that match my energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I always I always say that I worry the most about coming off as if I'm trying to just like get like clout from like the people I get on the show, and I that's why I always am like put an emphasis on like, you know, you don't have to like stream like when I'm we're doing the show. You don't have to do anything but just be available for the actual like answers and everything. Like I have put in a lot of effort to prioritize making this not something that is, or that can be like conceived as like me trying to take advantage of like people who I just want to have on the show.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I honestly, I feel that sometimes when I'm trying to go out there and be able to reach people and try to like collab with them. Most of the time when I'm asking to collab with people, I'm just like, I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
I just want to have fun. I'm not worried about too much if, for whatever reason, like if we don't have the exact same taste in video games, or like if we don't have the exact same taste in our hobbies, or like our energies aren't exactly the same. Because I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, everyone's different, everyone's unique, and I would rather see it as in, we're just all reaching out for each other. We want to hang out. We want to like do something like like me and you are doing right now, where you're asking me these questions, and I'm being like just being able to be honest with you and everyone that's listening right now.
Yeah.
Like I think that's super important and super fun.
I know you mentioned conventions earlier and wanting to go to have like a sort of like live stream, like an IRL stream there, but what experience do you have with conventions like already?
So the majority of the ones that I've been able to attend to were pre-COVID, and they were pretty much anime / like video game conventions. A lot of them were like big names. They were more like local things. But I always had just so much fun going to them and seeing all the people that like would be in there, and like they're cosplaying as their favorite characters from like an anime, as a video game, as in whatever, and they'll have the special like panels that you could go to that were for like a specific show or whatever. You just go in there, and like I went to a From Software panel one time. Went in there, sat down, and we were barely in there for 20 minutes, and someone on the front of the row of the booth had talked about praising the sun, and everyone stood up, and we all did the singing the symbol that Solaire does when he's praising the sun. And I thought like having that experience was just like, it was so fun and cool, just seeing all these people like be so passionate about a video game, especially a video game character. And I think like that's why I want to go to more conventions, because I've loved seeing that.
Yeah. Awesome. And then I guess if you were ever given the opportunity to, would you ever want would you want to do a meet and greet, and then 2, how would you want to go about doing that if you did want to do one?
I would absolutely love to do a meet and greet, even though like I feel like I would be more the type of person that I would love like to go around walking and meeting people in a sense, instead of like staying stationary in one place. But I know there's a lot of people that like prefer that. It just makes it easier.
Sure. But you're more of the
I think
robot on a tripod thing kind of deal for if you were attending an event as a guest.
Yeah. I don't think I would mind doing the whole robot thing, but like I think honestly, what I would end up trying to do was, if I could, I would just pretty much just go in cosplaying as myself and doing the meet and greet like that way. Just walking around with wearing, the clothing and style that I have for my model, and just having that and being able to get like recognized for that, and people can run up to me and be like, "Oh, it's Debbie!"
Yeah, absolutely. Where would you like to see yourself in a year or even like 5 years' time?
That is, that's a difficult, interesting question there. I honestly, I think I would love to just keep on growing not just growing my community, but also growing like the people I know and friends. I think that's the biggest thing for me. 'Cause, like I said, like I love being able to, when I do collabs and stuff like that, I love being able to actually like hang out with people and like spend time with them and focus more on the actual like the fun aspect. And I would love to, in the future, being able to, do that more often, and potentially trying to do kind of like what like Andy did for her bingo event.
Yep.
Being able to like host a Discord collab server, and being able to invite all these people that I know, or potentially even inviting like new people in, and have this be able to host this big event and be let everyone be able to have fun and just be a little silly, be a little chaotic.
And then, do you have any sort of outlandish or perhaps even like selfish goals? The kind that maybe it's like you don't really like want to directly say when you bring up goals, but it's kind of like it's always on the back of your mind. Like a big brand deal that you want to get with, or like a big collab or project you want to do, anything like that.
I think honestly, I think like the biggest one for me that I would love to do is being able to have, and like it's always been a dream of mine, is to one day just have my own like actual like, I guess, apparel brand in a sense that was handing out with like doing like unique designs that you typically wouldn't see, that people that were scared to kind of like commit the money into, or like the time to design, and having that as an actual like apparel design for people to enjoy, not just for clothing, but maybe potentially even doing it as in like the little like fun that people love to do for like Warhammer and all that, doing like stuff like that, and maybe potentially even having like a a plush that I know a lot of people love to get that eventually. Maybe even doing something like that. Well, by having it as in sense that like it's more as a I'm able to design it and make it with my own like group of people.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then what would you say is your hottest VTuber take?
Hottest VTuber take?
Yep.
Man, I'm trying to think on the top of my head. I'm trying to think. This is surprisingly, this is my most more difficult question. I think honestly, the biggest one for me is, and I guess now that I think about it, I did kind of talk about it before, is just being yourself and having fun. I think just a lot of times we get distracted when it comes to like the algorithm and the achieving like the big numbers and all that. Like I even struggled with that early on when I started streaming, and it like just being myself, having fun, and like and focusing on that aspect. Luckily I had Myth to be able to she'll beat me up whenever I'm as soon as I have one of those off days. I'm kind of doubting myself or something like that, and I'm worrying about the algorithm that we always have to worry about every day. So I think that would be the biggest thing for me. Just focus on being yourself and just focus on having fun.
Yeah, okay. Next up, we're getting to the VTuber content lightning round. In this section, I will give you a popular kind of VTuber content, and I want you to just give me your quick gut reactions on how you feel about them, either from the perspective of making this content or from the perspective of viewing this content. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. First things first, reaction content.
It's a hit or miss depending on the energy for me. If it's dramatic bass, I have no love for it. But if it's something that's focusing on being like try not to laugh, love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay. Music, stuff like song covers or even original music.
Absolutely love it. I love being able to hear all the different like takes when it comes to like covers and stuff like that, or even taking the time to like redesign the song into like potentially like a different genre. I love being able to just take the time and like listening to all of that and seeing like the unique like music videos and everything people do.
The various marathons, stuff like your follow-thons, subathons, donathons, those kinds of things.
The only thing I can say, all the respect to those people. I wish, like I kind of said, I can only go so long, and I feel like I'm just already out of energy, and I'm just like, I'm drained. The people that can go ahead and do like a 24-hour stream, or like a 48-hour stream, or just do like a subathon, like for like, let's say like all throughout September, props to you guys. I had nothing but mad respect to you.
And then next up is sort of the gaming subsection, starting off with competitive games, stuff like Marvel Rivals, League of Legends, anything with a ranked mode.
I think it's good. It's good to have that competitiveness. It also can be bad depending on how it's handled by the event coordinators. There's has been a couple of times I see they've been a little rough, and I don't like how they get handled. But I think having that competitiveness, it's good. It's healthy. You always want to have someone that you can kind of face off against, push yourself to do better.
Right. Okay. Next up is speedrunning content.
Ooh, actually, super enjoy it. I honestly really love some of the people that do Elden Ring speedruns are really my favorite. Seeing like how they handle it and everything. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I would again, huge respect to them. I've tried to do it myself, and I have failed every time.
Challenge runs, stuff like Nuzlocke, stuff like playing a game with only one specific item using that, or like anything like that,
Same thing with the competitive side. Love it. I love being able to being able to challenge yourself and seeing how far you can actually push yourself to do better. And I've done stuff for myself. Like I did last year on my birthday, I did Elden Ring only with a flight stick.
Oh.
And it was difficult at first, but I loved it. The entire instance of it and learning how to work it, loved it. And so seeing that with other people, how they do it, like playing Elden Ring with with a DDR pad or whatever, I think it's super cool.
Next is party games, stuff like Peak or Repo or Lethal Company, those kinds of games that have been dubbed friend slop recently.
Those games, I've had nothing from them. And seeing that with content from other people as well is such a blast, and you really get really unique experiences out of that compared to like if you were just trying to play it on your own or just trying to play it as some people do the normal way.
And then finally, full plays, going through the entirety of a game or game series over the course of a couple of streams.
I love it. Sometimes it can be a little rough, I know, for like a new follower when they come in and you're like halfway through the game, and you're like, man, I wish I could, I wish that I was here in the very beginning. But I know, a lot of times for a lot of people, it's really hard to do that, being able to do that. So, but right. I like them though. I think a lot of times they can be really, really unique, and spending the time with your streamer during a full session like that, a game session, I think it's a good way to learn more about them and learning exactly why you follow them in the first place.
Right. Okay. That is the lightning round over. Just a few more questions kind of to round things out here. Who or what would you say is the biggest inspiration for you as an artist?
I will have to say the biggest one for me is Steel Trigger. I remember when I first saw Gurren Lagann, absolutely fell in love with it, with like the entire design of it, and it also had like giant mecha, which I love. Anything with giant robots, absolutely love. And like they do each of their animes, even though like a lot of times like they try to be unique and do something new, you could always tell it's Studio Trigger because just the way they handle their crispy lines and like how they handle their action scenes and like their character design. So that, I think that's like, for me, that's like the biggest inspiration that I love. And I would love to, at some point get to that level to where I can be able to have something like that myself.
And then do you ever take commissions for your art?
Yeah. I have it to where I've only have it to like a couple, and like it's not like really too much of a commission. But I love, like, I'll happily do like the skip commissions, where it's just like you come in, you kind of give me your character and kind of be like, this is kind of like the idea that I have. Can you do this? And I like doing those kind of commissions because, one, it kind of helps me to where I could be more in the creative focus side of it. I also think it gives me a good challenge too, because it kind of lets me feel like, okay, how can I, when I'm doing this commission, how can I make this interesting, but still what the person wanted when they went ahead and paid me.
Awesome. I think those are all of the questions I wanted to go through. So as is usual at this time of the interview, I will pass the hypothetical interviewer mic over to my guest and allow them to ask me any questions they might have.
Oh, Oh, I prepared for this.
Good.
I have a couple. I made sure to ask Myth as well, because she's really good when it comes to like figuring out questions compared to me. So I made sure to go through her as well. So one that I wanted to ask you is, what do you like to draw in your free time? Like, what do you really enjoy? Because I know, like, you host this, you're hosting this show for us to ask these questions and then take the time to draw our our models as as part of this. But what is something that, like, in your free time that you really enjoy doing?
So I think the thing that's mostly been taking up a lot of my I guess free time drawing is it's a lot of not safe for work stuff. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
It's just so it's so just like chill doing that compared to like other stuff. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I don't really need a I don't really need like an occasion or like an excuse or anything like that to do that.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
So I think it is it's a lot easier to just kind of get into the headspace of wanting to draw that, and then I just do it.
Yeah, I get that. I that's how I feel sometimes when it comes to, like, when I just want to, like, sit down and draw, like, one of my, like, favorite, like, waifu characters. That's how I get my headspace into. I'm like, I be able to just sit down, I get nice and relaxed, and I'm just like, you know what, I want to spend the time drawing that. So I completely understand that. Another one I have that I wanted to ask was, is there anything you planned for your show that didn't work out, or what is something that you haven't implemented yet, if you're willing to talk about it?
So, I think, I have had several like not safe for work creators, specifically artists, on the show before. However, it's been a bit harder to find folks for that recently. Not for any specific reason, but I mean, I would like to be able to, get more on the show. But I think that's kind of the closest thing to that. And I'd like to use the alternate persona that you're drawing right now on your end. I would like to use her as sort of the one who does like the model for when I do those kinds of interviews.
Oh yeah, you know what? I completely get that, because I had this fun idea of whenever I would do like not a normal typical day of my streaming time, of just using that as, like, that's when I use my female model in a sense to be like, hey, she's the one that's taking the time to do this because I just had an urge to stream or draw or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that would be, honestly, I don't do too much not safe for work stuff myself, mostly because I'm still more focusing on, like, learning an anime and everything.
Of course.
And so eventually I would like to do that down the line. But I think having more people like that to be able to come on your show and talk about that and be able to talk about their experiences, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think the series of like a couple, I think like 5 to 6 I had on, I think it's always fascinating to hear about what their sort of experiences are with making content online, because it's like so different than like the streaming end of things. It's like starkly different, and I wish I had just thought of drawing something that was a bit more safe for work, so I had the VODs of those still, but
yeah,
alas, I do not, because Picardo doesn't save VODs. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff with Picardo I would say kind of did a bit better, like they kind of do on Twitch. But I also know, like anything, they're kind of limited on resources and what they can do,
Yeah.
like anyone can. Everything involves lots of money.
Yeah.
Another one I had. What is your favorite thing whenever you're being able to have a new guest come on your show? Like what's your like favorite thing that you love to like learn about them, or what is it that you particularly usually like to fall under when you're like figuring out your questions and stuff like that?
So I have the same list of questions I have for everybody. I feel like it makes things a little bit simpler for both myself and the guests. And like, no offense to anyone I've had on before, it's also just a lot easier to have a base set of questions so that I don't have to like dig through a lot of stuff to try and like find like, hot ones level like deep questions about people, because I mean, again, like there's just not a whole lot out there right now. At least that's easy to find. Like if I had on like Iron Mouse or someone like that, I could come up with like specific questions for her, but it's just that a lot of the people I've had on the show are smaller creators and ones that don't have as extensive of a library of content as like the bigger ones do.
Yeah, and so I kind of get that, because then that just makes it easier to where like no matter what, you can have these these special unique questions that, like, yeah, you're asking the same ones every time, but they're honestly going to be the most easiest way to figure out that person and not have to worry so much about like spending so much like extra work on figuring out that person uniquely every single time.
Yeah, and also like shit, I thought I had something. No, it's gone. It's not coming back. So yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Well, what can you do?
Yeah, and then most likely it's probably gonna hit you. I'll end up hitting you like at the end of the day or something like that, and you're gonna be like, "Darn it!"
Oh yeah, probably.
I Another one I wanted to ask you was, I know you kind of talked about the more not safe for work artists on here, but what is something that you personally would like to do with your art? Like, what is something that you would like to be able to kind of see achieve maybe in the next, in the next year, or maybe in 5 years, kind of like you had asked me when it comes to streaming?
I think I have. There was a time when I wanted. Yeah, exactly. Sitting. I think there is always. I think there was a time where I wanted to make like I wanted to do something like a booth at like a convention or whatever, right? Like that, like an artist alley booth. But I think now I'm not. Not to say that I'm not sure I want to like do fan works and stuff like that and like sell them as posters and merch and whatnot, but I think I'm kind of at a spot where I would rather be my art be either a means to get to like meet new people like by doing the show, or just something that I can just like use as a way to kind of get what I'm thinking of in my head onto like something, because that's always what I've used art for, and so I think it's nothing that's specific with my I guess goals for just my art, but I mean Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I completely get that. 'Cause, like I said, like for me, like I would like to eventually be able to have my own, apparel type brand with my art and being able to have that. But a lot of times, though, I think there's just days that I'm just like, I kind of just sit down and I go to think I'm going to have all these like big ideas for myself when I'm going to like draw like an illustration or figure out like the next kind of like silly fun gremlin emo I want to do or something like that, and I like trying to think of like these big ideas and plots, and then I end up I just end up I don't focus on that. I just focus on the actual art itself, and then focusing on like how much joy is this going to bring someone.
Right.
So when it comes to the actual like focusing on the actual aspect of, oh hey, I'm gonna turn my art into this massive multi-dollar company, and I'm gonna turn it into the next Elon Musk. Like like I know a lot of times we want to sit down and have those mindsets, but I think it's also good just to be able to like get lost in yourself and kind of get lost in like you said, like having just like that peace and like enjoyment when it comes to like doing your not safe for work art. And I said the same thing when it comes to just like drawing waifus. Like I love being able to just do that because I I like the a lot of times the simple designs where it's like you're just focusing on the actual like the curves, the outfit, and like the hair and all that. And I get so lost in it that like the original idea that I had, it's just gone.
Yep.
I someone in my chat actually had a question that they want asked. They want me to ask you. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
They want to know, what do you think about the power of friendship plot armor?
I think. I think if it's specifically that, I do not respect that. I know Fairy Tail I've been told that it does that a lot. I don't know for sure because I've never actually like sat down and watched it. But I think for just as like a story building thing, if it's not like a specific like reason why like the power of friendship is doing it, like so to give an example for something I do understand, with like Dragon Ball, like the Spirit Bomb is just the power of friendship basically. Like that's kind of just what it is. And like it does the job most of the time, not really, but like it's something that is kind of like there's a reason why it is basically just that. I don't really like watch.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like if it actually has like an actual. In the end, you're gonna see the actual like meaning of it. Like obviously, like with Spirit Bomb, there's an actual purpose of it. Of like he's taking the time to get the energy from everyone. Compared to like the sometimes you have the typical friendship plot armor where it's like when these two individuals end up motivating each other, they reach the next level of God or something.
Yeah. I think like a perfect example I'm thinking of is from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where like yes they basically just like won with the power of friendship, but like they do kind of like they talk about why they were able to do that earlier on in the movie, and so like that's kind of it's not anything that's like. I think if it has a good, like, established reason why they're doing it, I think I'm fine with it. But otherwise, like, usually I would say it doesn't result in anything good.
Yeah. No, I get that a lot. I completely get that because I feel like that too, especially when it comes to like certain things, like when it comes to like movies nowadays too. Like they always have like some like very very common excuse of why this individual lives or why they end up becoming as powerful as they do. And then in reality, like you could have just taken the time to actually done something that was a bit more like a bit more focused, I guess,
Yeah.
on the actual like lore and story instead of just being like he ended up finding this shiny rock on the ground and he became the next Saitama.
Yeah, exactly.
What other questions I had? Those were pretty much my main ones that I had for you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you know what? You kind of asked me about like a bit of like my lore and like the story behind it. I wanna know that about yours. I want to know like how did you come up with like the design for your model and like what's the lore behind it? Is there any lore?
So my lore that I have is that I was the tutorial boss for JRPG. Unfortunately, my protagonist tried to cheese my fight and ended up making me too strong to beat, and so he gave up. And now I am looking for new protagonists in order to actually like get through my game.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and the reason that I do the sketchlog thing is that I basically, after being beaten, I was supposed to be the enemy encyclopedia, like in like Goombella from Paper Mario, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's why I go through and I like interview people. I get to know them. I get to know what their thing is, and I draw them, and then. The thing is that they'll be put into the logbook as an entry and all that.
That's actually really interesting. I have to say that's actually pretty unique for a lore based scenario because
Yeah,
I think
thank
that's pretty cool. It's almost kind of like it's like the type anime type thing where it's just like you're focusing on an actual like key component of why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and then my design itself is this is basically just how I've always drawn myself, essentially. Well, with the hair and the eyes and the facial hair. The outfit itself is kind of it's like sort of based on those kind of like I guess fake out bosses where it's like you think they're gonna be the main bad guy and then eventually they end up joining your party. Mm-hmm. Like think Magus from Chrono Trigger or Hendrik from Dragon Quest XI. Especially with the coat, with the collar and everything like that. The turtleneck is an Archer reference, the TV show Archer. And then the horns, as well as the idea of being a demon and like the scenario behind my lore is kind of based on Disgaea, if you're familiar with the series.
Yeah.
Because I think the lore aspect of it is I very much think that it's something that Disgaea would try to pull.
Okay.
Where like the main character is because like there, for instance, in the first game there is a character, his name is Vyers, and the main character just is like, who the fuck? I don't know who you are. I'm just gonna call you mid boss from now on. And then subsequently every single like game after that he appears in, his name is just mid boss now. And so like that's the kind of like sort of humorous, like kind of breaking the JRPG format thing that I like. And also the horns are a similar like the sort of like bevel shape from one of the monster designs in Disgaea, and the actual thing inside is. I like the design. I like the idea of the Kirby Crackle from Marvel Comics, like the sort of cosmic energy that's like that's a bunch of like dots and stuff like that that kind of coalesce into like energy or whatever. And so I was like, it would be kind of weird if like this, if like my horns were just that like sort of pattern, but they didn't move around at all. And so I was like, what if they did move around at all? And so that's where we got this.
Yeah, and I actually now I guess that's something like I didn't pay attention to until now. It's because it's nice and subtle and it's very like coordinated with the colors. But I like how how you actually have like the animations in the horns, how it's actually like it's having that energy type aspect. I think that's actually really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think another one that I can ask is because I know like right now I've been able to see the OC that I'm trying to draw right now. But is there like any other OCs that you have that you like that you either had done like when you were younger, or maybe potentially something that like you might want to do like in the future as like as a eventual thing?
I know I have a bunch. I mean, as any artists do. Most of them are kind of like, I wouldn't say afterthoughts, but they are. They aren't what I've been focusing on lately. And a lot of them are like in the not safe for work zone, just because that's kind of the easier way of like making characters and content and stuff like that. Let's. I'm looking through all my files to try and find anything that's like remotely appropriate. That doesn't sound good.
He's going through the homework folder, everyone.
Yeah, the taxes folder. I mean, like, obviously I have like a litany of like D&D characters that I used to play as that I kind of keep around as like, you know, wouldn't it be nice if I did something with this or whatever. But yeah, nothing that's like that I'm like keen to, I guess, make something out of, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah,
no, not specifically.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I always like wanted to take the time to go through and like design a whole bunch of different like OCs that I kind of like popped in my head as kind of like you like they kind of like you kind of have them kind of like you said like an afterthought kind of but in reality like I've always just stuck with, like I said, like I've had since I was high school. That kind of tells you how many original characters I have.
Yeah,
because like I have this, and then I have like two other ones that I kind of made lore wise. I'm not like done yet, but like I'm planning on trying to get those done and using those as like maybe for like potentially doing like a webcomic or something. And then like I have like one other character that I always use for like my when I play video games. That is the typical like she's the engineer type character from Full Metal Alchemist that has the blonde hair. She's really tall.
yeah.
But when it comes to like being like you know being super unique, it's like the next kaiju or something like that. I've never been able to have something like that. Not because I think because of like due to like a skill issue. I think it's just more of the fact like I've already get to see a lot of these really good designs when I'm going through like looking at stuff like on Twitter, like people have done, and being able to like pick up like the next big manga that just came out or something like that when I go to like the local like bookstore, which I know is probably weird to hear nowadays, but like being able to go in there and like looking at like some of the new manga that comes out and seeing like the cool like new monster designs that they kind of stuff like that. Like I always see those and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm content without having my own.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it looks like well, it's technically the exact same person. They have another question that they would like to ask, and that is, would you rather be in an anime where the camera is mostly focused on you, or the anime be about you from another POV? I actually thought that was a pretty good question too.
Yeah. I think it would depend on the genre, I would say. I think I think a shonen I don't know. Cuz like it's with shonens there's a lot of like stuff that is they don't really do much play with perspective in shonens, I think, at least in my experience. So it's hard to say if like how that would play out, but I think with that I would probably just want it to be focused on me. But for I think for like any other genre, I would probably want it to be from somebody else's perspective, just because I feel like with stuff like seinens or stuff like slice of life, I think with that it is when it does that, the character that they're like focusing on in a way is a lot more interesting than like whatever like the I guess the main focus character is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like I think
like well, I was gonna say, I know there's sometimes they kind of do that with there's some manga out there that have done it where they have the main character, but they will go and take the time to actually showcase like the actual backstory and kind of like the lore to like someone they might either they're gonna meet in like the next episode or chapter, or like they currently like kind of like in One Piece how they kind of gone through in the anime. They took the time to actually give like lore based reasons for each individual crewmate.
Yeah.
I thought I would have more progress on your part, and I do not. I warned you. I was like, I'm going to be slow with this.
I don't know. I think I was also extra quick today because like I didn't expect to finish this quickly. But
wait, I gotta take a. That is phenomenal. I have not paid attention at all because I had my OBS program up because I did it on purpose. But this came out really. Actually, it looks kind of like a Persona loading screen.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Or like the what do they call it? The paw screen. You know, when they have like the cool like the red and black behind them and they have like the silhouette. That's what it reminds me of, actually. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, if you don't have any more questions for me, I can let you go and continue doing your stream if you are going to continue streaming, which up to you. But I don't know how long you usually go for. I usually just stop after the show is over. But
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I probably will honestly end up keep on streaming just because like usually typically for me, I like to go for like 4 or 5 hours.
yeah, okay.
Which, yeah,
Then I can toss these guys into your stream. If I can find you, where are you?
but I will say though, I had an absolute blast being a part of this with you.
Oh yeah, this was
And being
great.
able to have the questions asked. I've never got to do something like this, and I never thought I would. So you coming to actually ask me about it and taking part of it was actually really interesting, and made me actually think quite a bit. Because the last couple of days, like I said, I've been watching some of your past streams and kind of seen like the questions you ask your guests, and I really thought hard on them because I was like, man, I wanna have a good answer.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I always love having new people on the show and getting to meet new folks. So yeah, this was. I'm glad you decided to come on board.
Yeah, and like I said, I really appreciate you taking the opportunity to let me come on, and I'm honestly really happy to be able to see what you're gonna end up interviewing next, because like it has been really, like I said, really fun to be able to like hop on your streams like I did the other day and see the unique new streamer that you have with you, because it kind of helps me find like more people I can kind of go like and watch as well. So I think that's another thing I love about your stream is like having these different individual streamers come on and being able to like find new communities and all that. I love that.
Yeah, and I've got a lot, because this week I took off of work because I needed to do some other stuff. But yeah, I've got 2 of these tomorrow, one in the morning and then one in the evening, and then 1 each for Thursday and Friday. So I mean, hey, if anyone here wants to stop by for those, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I honestly, I fully recommend to you guys to go and watch Xander's streams when he's taking the time to go through and interview these people, because like I said, it's great to be able to find new